Heckin' Frank.
I probably should have had you get your swear words out, but I mean,
He said frick. It's better.
yeah, no. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it is
Yeah.
definitely something we maybe should have thought about, but
That's
will eradicate your Tetris body-looking face off the planet.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chill with the
Continuing with the backstage talk about Edge. Just letting you know, the curtains.
No, it's the bot. It's just like non-stop adding blocks, and it's making me big mad.
I would interrupt you, but this is probably the most you've actually talked on this podcast. So.
Oh, we started. Okay.
And then you immediately go into silent mode. You're like,
Right.
no, I don't talk anymore.
Set him to vibrate.
Right.
Oh my god. Every time William talks,
You know what? Like, that being said, I think we do have a conversation topic lined up today that we can finally get Billy Steen to, you know, share some stuff, put some stuff on the table.
Where is it?
It's our back. It's what we were talking backstage. We did start. Should I give an intro yet? Are we all ready? Okay. Hey, you, Ghost in the background. Can you stop flailing your arms out? No. All right. Okay. Then I guess we're gonna continue. Welcome everyone to the Witching Hour Filler Podcast, the podcast that tries to fill up as much of your time between the hours of 12 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Time may change depending on your region. I am Rise of the Link, your host, just like always, and today I'm joined with my lovely co-host, Sponge Boy.
I'm lovely.
Corrupt Star Shade.
You ever thought that maybe a Fire Emblem you're different?
And Billy Steenstein.
Out of there.
Billy Steenstein.
Ah, yes. My wonderful name, Billy Steenstein.
Yeah.
My father,
Finally.
he named me Billy Steenstein, and my mother was like, yes, amazing.
Yeah. Hold on.
The fifth. Actually, I'm Billy Steen the 87th.
I would have like live updated your name, but it would have looked janky. But yeah, I think that's what I'm just gonna call you now. Since you will, I forget which one you prefer.
Steen.
Billy Steen.
Last time it was Stein.
Yeah.
Wasn't.
I mean,
whatever.
No, I think it was because last time he ran contrary to like it being Frankenstein. He preferred it like. Well, whatever. I forget that conversation. I'm not going to talk about stuff I don't remember. Like a
Let's
dog.
not make ourselves sound stupid. Let's just do a thing.
Yeah.
Just jump.
Yeah.
Move on.
We're gonna just jump so much into things that I don't even have a random question of the day pulled up.
I thought that you said we had a topic that would get me into conversation.
Well, we have the topic after the question. Question comes first. The question is just a random question to help us start talking about stuff and, open up the conversation dialogue trees.
Here's a question. If a cannibal ate an astronaut, would that be considered astronaut?
You don't get asked the questions.
You're grounded. Go to your room.
So here's gonna be the question of the day, or of the evening. If you were a candy bar, which candy bar would you be?
Almond Joy, so I would not eat myself.
Fair enough. Starshade? Steenstein?
Mars bar.
Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers.
Everybody loves me, but I hate myself.
I've literally never seen a Mars bar before in my life.
I've never heard of it until now.
I mean, I've heard of it because Mars candy is the people that make M&Ms, but I've never actually seen one. Or tasted one, for that matter.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Payday, because nobody likes me.
I would beg to differ on that one.
But I love Payday.
Well, then,
I just don't know many people that do like Payday.
Fair enough. And Starshade, you said Three Musketeers. Why would that be?
Actually,
Like Three Musketeers?
very light.
It is. I also.
It is.
It is very like. I love the center of them. Three Musketeers.
Very light. You should get Nestle Crunch. That's literally just air and
Yeah.
chocolate.
I don't really
Prices.
have a candy bar preference, but if I had to pick like my favorite one, I guess it would have to be the Hershey's. Just because, just the
Rise of
Hershey's,
Evil Link.
just Hershey's.
There's multiple
That's
kinds.
an evil Hershey.
Yeah.
Rise of Hershey Blank.
Just Rise of
Rise
Evil
of
Hershey's. But I mean, it's just the Hershey bar, and my reasoning for this, and I know there's multiple types of Hershey bars, but literally just the giant, thing of chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
The-
regular Hershey's.
The
Yeah,
base model.
that's what I was saying. Just the regular
Stock
Hershey's.
Hershey bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Vanilla Hershey bar.
I have a
Good
gas
stuff.
station, like really close to me, and like I'll go there and I'll get like the king size thing, and it's so much chocolate, and it's amazing.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. If I actually like had to say one of my favorite candy bars, I would probably go like there's a Twix.
Mhm.
Oh, my favorite candy bar? Nestle Crunch.
Okay. I mean, it didn't really have to be like your favorite candy bar, but it was just if you were one, and I would prefer to
Yeah.
be like that one because I'd be so chocolatey and large.
Be chocolatey and delicious. I would be
And-
the Dockleworks bar. Too.
Funny.
So, anyways, I think we try and not have like backstage conversations before we start these things, but
All right,
honestly, we
Starting backstage comment.
we were talking quite a bit about edginess and like what constitutes something being edgy or not.
Calling in my sins. That's what we were.
Yeah, well, because I was
Oh
talking
my
about like I have a game that's literally like, well, my dream game, like part of the story is gonna require you to go through and pretty much murder everyone, like to get the real ending. And Steenstein pulled in is like, well, you're allowed to be edgy with that one, but I'm not. He didn't exactly say that, but that is more or less what he said. And we,
That's weird.
This is coming
Yeah,
from the
right.
person who says I'm edgy.
yeah, this is coming from the person's. I never called you edgy. I've never tried to call you edgy because I genuinely don't think you are. Other people find what you say edgy. I mean, you did have a thing with dead babies once, so that is a little bit edgy. But
But
dead babies.
not dead babies. Just babies in general. They're adorable and they're funny.
They're
Yeah, but
ugly.
you were talking about them being in like highly deadly situations.
People who said they would die.
I mean,
You-
if you build a tower of babies from the surface of the Earth to the moon, would those babies be alive?
Yeah, you just gotta stick them in space baby suits. With the flow of
What
oxygen
about the
and-
ones underneath?
I was gone for 30 seconds. Yes.
Let's move on.
Anyways, I didn't mean to talk about specifically about that, but like it's very specifically like those would all be dead. Anyways,
They're not dead.
beside they would be in the hypothetical. Anyways, that wasn't what I was talking about. So we were just talking about like what does and doesn't constitute edge, and then he brought up his D&D campaign. Do you want to take it from there and talk about what you were talking about before?
All right.
Very good.
To explain, like what was called edgy is the way I describe things. I don't just say like, oh yeah, you do this, it does this amount of damage. Move on. I tend to like stick on that for a few like good like I don't know.
Yeah,
5
and
seconds at
as
most,
we've said before,
just to, like,
that's
explain.
not like a bad thing. If a DM just comes up to you and tells you, "Oh, you got hit, you take this much damage, or oh hey, you just hit that person, they have that much damage taken. That's a work of a bad DM. Like, yes, you should let them know more or less what's being taken and not taken, but at the same time, you kind of need to describe the scenario, like what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't do that, your players are going to lose interest. And I know this because before I used to describe stuff, every time that it wasn't my player's turn. Dice.
Well, I stack dice anyways because D&D is boring, but continue.
Well,
Let's brain go. Click time.
Especially when you're
like,
playing with like a group of like
after-
5 people, and then it's like, oh Jesus Christ.
all I want is a group
There's
of
like no organization in it at all, so
Or even yet when there is organization and like you're just sitting there for like a good solid 30 minutes before you can actually speak up and do something.
yeah.
yeah,
That's
another problem I have is the way I describe spells. Basically, just any attack that I'll describe out, like casting a spell. I'll describe as like 2 glowing blue, basically just glowing blue darts fizzled to.
It's okay to like elaborate on stuff, but
Launch them in
with
front of you.
really anything, you need to learn when enough is enough.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
moderation.
I can definitely imagine you taking it a bridge too far, but at the same time, what you do in general isn't, like, from what I'm hearing, it isn't a bad thing. If nothing
No.
else, like, it seems like you're actually doing an apt job. It's everyone else that's the problem.
Yeah.
Just
Not
with
you,
like
I've
violent
noticed.
stuff, there's a certain threshold violence descriptions where it gets to be too much. You're just like,
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a balance act to it. I think, like, you want to describe it in a way that it keeps your players interested in what you're talking about, but at the same time, you don't want to take it a bridge too far because then, well, you took it a bridge too far.
If
Yeah.
if
Like not even with like having it like be like super like extreme and like the description of it, because that could be fine too. But another thing of it is just you can't let it drag.
Yeah. I mean, it
But
also
if-
has to fit the scenario. Like, if you have a player who rolls a strength check and an athletics check and gets a natural 20 on both of those, then you need to go all in your description on that one. But if you have a player
Oh,
who
yeah.
just rolled, like, you know, barely anything, and they just
9.
barely made the attack, then yes, you can make a description, but most of your description is just going to be on how they fumbled it.
Yeah.
And not how much they actually got hurt, or the other
way
person
I
got
see
hurt.
it. The way I see it is make the. Sorry for interrupting, by the way.
No. Go
But
for
like the way I see it is describe it in a way that makes your players feel involved, make them
Mm.
feel, like they're not just there rolling bits of plastic.
Yeah.
They're there and they're involved in the game. Make them feel, make them
Mm.
feel important.
Yeah, here's the dividing line. If you don't want to make them feel like they should be playing a video game instead. Because if they wanted something to tell them they hit something and they did that X amount of damage, or they've been hit and they've gained X amount of damage, you can play a video game. It does that just fine for you. When you're playing any sort of tabletop RPG, not just Dungeons and Dragons, like
Call it
descriptions,
Cthulhu, Pathfinder, anything.
Pathfinder, Edge of Empire, any of that stuff, like, descriptions are where the game exists. Like, it is the realm of the imagination. So if you're not letting them imaginate, and again, another thing about this is you don't want to go a bridge too far either, just because if you go too far, then you're not leaving anything up to the imagination. A good way to describe this is if you've ever read a book, and within the first chapter of the book, it describes to you exactly how the character looks like, then that is a bad book. Well, it is a very bad sign of a book. Because when you
Yeah.
see that, you're going to naturally hover over it, or you're going to read it and not retain any of it. Especially when they go into, like, this is X amount of weight and height and eye color, and it's like, it's not really necessary. because
Stop caring.
you stop caring.
Turns into
Because your brain needs to fill in the gaps of information with stuff. You need to leave something to the imagination so that way they can use their imagination. But you don't want to leave it too open that they have nothing to guide the imagination. I think I'm gonna terribly butcher this quote, but it's a quote by like an author that I used to follow, and I don't even remember his or her name anymore. I don't even know who this is anymore because it feels like a past life. But essentially, they were just saying like the goal of an author is not to tell you a story, but to give you the tools to tell yourself a story.
I feel like I've heard that
Makes
before.
sense.
Yeah. And
And
yeah, so and this works with anything, not just literature. This is any sort of storytelling or description or anything that really has to deal with outside of a person's ability to grasp or somebody's imagination and whatnot. Then you want to let them build the story, but you also need to stick around just long enough for them to have a story to build.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah. I mean, I might have gone in a little bit too much detail there, but I think my point is quite clear on how I feel about that. So,
for nothing. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Don't.
so anybody who tells you like you're being
Basically,
too
just-
descriptive, like
If you give your
Yeah.
if you give your players a brick wall of information, just like this is what it looks like, this is what like
Mhm.
can I kind of like know about it.
Yeah.
You're not leaving anything to the imagination. Now, if
Mhm.
you give your players a description where it's like,
If you spell everything out, then why don't they just play
What's
like
their-
a game or something, or hell, even watch a movie?
yeah, watch a movie, read a novel, or an encyclopedia if they want to have an info dump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen to me for 30
just want to
minutes.
see if they just want to hear words
Mhm.
all day.
Yeah, so there's definitely like a middle road, but you're saying like you do this and you don't spend like any more than 5 to 10 seconds on these descriptions.
Give me a situation
Just
in com. Give me a
Okay.
combat situation.
So
I-
a player shoots an arrow from their bow at a skeleton.
At a skeleton.
They didn't do amazing on the rolls, but it's enough to actually hit the skeleton and do a little bit of damage.
All right. Okay, so this is kind of the best description I could come up with. As you pull the trigger on your crossbow, you can see the arrow shoot.
It's not a
out of it
crossbow;
as
it's a
it
bow.
sticks.
All right,
Oh, it's
failed.
just a bow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
Okay.
was
Yeah,
whatever.
it's fine. I'm just
Whatever.
giving you
Crossbow,
crap.
bow, whatever.
Yeah.
As you see the arrow leave your bow, it sticks into one of the skeleton's bones, and it kind of just takes it out and drops it on the ground. And then the battle will continue.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, but
fine.
which bone?
I mean, that's
But
to the
one bone.
imagination.
One bone.
One bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you just saying that, like I thought of somebody shooting an arrow, it hits like a rib or something, and it takes the rib off the skeleton. Not the whole rib
Like,
cage, but
rib
just
leg.
a rib bone.
Like it broke it, but it didn't like shatter his.
And it just looks down. It's like, hey man, not cool.
Yeah. So
This is a good
that is
plan.
that is enough description for me to build the rest of the imagination, and I'm pretty sure like SpongeBob and Starshade had their own imaginations and their own interpretation of the system, but something to
Yep.
And, like,
probably a similar extent of what I just had.
And like then there's also spells which people I get. There's a few people that said I get too descriptive with.
Mhm.
And let's for this example, let's say again like the whole three like the magic missiles out of Kobold. I
Mhm.
would describe it as you wave your hands and yell out the spell's name, you see three blue darts materialize in front of you as you launch them towards the Kobold,
Mhm.
creating a big puff of gas as they hit
Yeah.
the ground.
Yeah, That seems fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I would say get new
You're gonna
players
be in the
because your players suck. Is my
Yeah.
advice because you're doing
They
your
don't suck.
job correctly.
They don't.
Yeah, you're doing your job correctly.
Yeah,
little word heavy in the front for me, but that's just a person.
yeah.
That's fair.
Okay. For descriptions, like based on the nat 20 dice roll, I would suggest looking at it like a weird spectrum,
Mm.
starting at the middle and moving towards the nat 1 and nat 20. Get more descriptive as you get to the extremes because it's more and more of a mess up or a success.
Well,
It makes it feel like there's
like
a lot more.
10 is just like a
Mm.
meh, you hit him, good job. You get like a
I-
20-second description.
I don't
Well,
agree with that on one point. Because people love epic failures. Epic failures are amazing to describe. Like having somebody fumble a lamp, it falls down to the ground as the fire spreads to the rest of the house and quickly consumes an entire village. That's an epic failure. I spent about 20 seconds on that, as much as you would recommend for a nat 20. It is
Yeah.
epic
Like that,
failures
a
are really
spectrum that
fun.
moves from the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, at middle, but at
Depends.
the same time, like it's not just epic failures. Like I think you should give a good 20 seconds to like any description. It's just how involved of it depends. So if it's from the middle onwards, if you're towards a 1, then you're gonna get a little bit more fumbly or like mistakes are being made as you're going. If you're going from the middle to 20, you're going to be like, oh, this was more amazing. And the middle point is going to be defined as whatever the role is required to pass the skill check. I forget because it's been a while since I've done
back.
a D&D campaign,
Right.
but I think it's like NC or something is what that value is. But anyways, like I think you should give a fair amount of description to anything.
Yeah.
Just it just depends scenario like on how involved or like it or even how involved it is can just change because there's just a lot of moving pieces in D&D. There's no hard or fast rule on how you should go about it.
Yeah.
It's just in the template.
Yeah, no, and I know what you're trying to get at, and it definitely makes a lot of sense. Like, if you're a newbie DM, like, just look at it as, when they do a skill check, 1 to 20. If they're closer to 1, be more, give a little bit more time for the description if they're closer to 20. I'm just saying, because there's definitely situations where even a mundane action can be very fun to describe, especially if it's doing something really weird or, not normal.
Yeah.
I don't think at any point in time in a D&D campaign you shot an arrow, you did 5 damage.
Yeah.
Because
So it always have some little bit of description to back that up more.
you should have
To make it kind of feel like it carries more weight.
carries a little bit more weight, and it also really depends on the players you have too. Because I've definitely had joke campaigns with people, and on joke campaigns, that's all descriptions. Like, I'm barely doing anything. Like, I don't even have to look at numbers half the time in a joke campaign. I'm just, well, you shot an arrow, it hit the sun and brought down the sun to the earth, and now everything's, turning into a black hole.
And I put a portal on the moon.
I mean, again, that's not an actual description I'd use in that situation, but that's just kind of, an approximation of what it would be like.
What if I set fire to the sun?
If you set fire to the sun, then the sun becomes a blazing ball of plasma again.
Yay. I saved the world.
You save the world. I mean, but yeah, it really is like situational, highly situational. And I'll wait on Billy Steenstein to be back, but
Right back.
all right. So yeah, we're still kind of talking about it, but I'm just gonna end this little part off with just saying, from what I'm hearing, you're doing what you're doing just fine. If you have players that are having a problem with it, my only suggestion is like see how much like play with how much detail you're giving them. Like try giving them a little bit too much detail one time, try giving them a little bit too little detail, and just see what they like personally. And I would try and try for that because it's definitely if a player wants more, they'll want more. I personally would love to have like very detailed descriptions on most things, and I try and give that to most people, and typically it works out, but I can understand that not everyone wants a 5-page soliloquy on you just shot an arrow and just did a normal attack.
Yeah. It's a very fair way of looking at it too. I also typically like the longer description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it kind of makes it feel like I actually did something compared to just I said I did something.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it seem a bit more substantial.
Yeah, it gives a little bit more, like you said, a little bit more weight to what you're doing, and makes it feel like you actually did a thing.
It's not the pieces of plastic telling the story. The dungeon master is there to tell a story, and for the
I would argue that the dungeon master is not there to tell a story either, because you specifically, as a dungeon master, you create the world, you create the situation, you create the objects, everything else in the world, finely tuned for these players. The players are telling the story here. It is their story that they are telling. You're just the one putting in the legwork to help them experience it.
The players are the story. You give them the materials to be the story.
Yeah. It's like what I was saying earlier, like with that author. When you're writing a book and you're telling a story, you're not telling a story so much as giving someone tools to tell themselves a story.
Yeah.
And like that's the biggest thing, because that's why games like tabletop RPGs can just be so memorable for people, is because it wasn't that the DM told them a story, it's that you experienced and told yourself a story.
Yeah.
So there's definitely
Brandon.
a balancing act to it.
For sure.
Brandon.
Yes, what's
you
up?
remember when we first started playing Edge, in the first battle we went to, I got a critical success?
Oh god, yes.
And I eviscerated that sewer rat, like, and then Hunter was like, alright. And he gave us like a 2-minute description of like, there's blood everywhere.
Yeah. And then
the rat is gone.
Later he nerfed you.
Yeah, too.
Because you were just like non-stop critting everything. I didn't even get into a combat encounter for like the first 2 sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I made the galaxy's worst evil man.
Oh.
Yeah. The Life of Slurg.
Yup. And he's in our campaign too.
Did he come? Yeah.
Yeah.
Legs is there.
You know how Hunter is with his reoccurring characters.
He is. I mean, I feel like Slurg is just gonna be one of those reoccurring characters that's just gonna come up like in anything we do. I doubt I'll ever do a D&D campaign with him, because I'm so far done with D&D at this point in my life. It's good, but I personally have done it so much that it's just so flippin' boring. It is.
I really want to continue my Edge campaign eventually when my internet is less bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think we do want to continue that eventually. I think some things need to be solid out. I need to be solid out. Mr. Disagreeable is actually in a solid place, but I think he wants a computer. So there's definitely things that we need to do, but yeah, I'm not against it. Because
Absolutely.
I love stuff like Edge of the Empire. I love that kind of stuff.
I love the system so much.
Again, like I don't think I'll do a D&D campaign because it's meh for me, but I'm open to doing other stuff. So it's not like I don't not enjoy. Matter of fact, there's a game I've been wanting to play with people for a while. It's a lot less D&D and tabletop RPGs, but it's essentially like a dice rolling game, if I remember correctly. But the entire thing is like everybody is this one dude. Everyone is this dude has multiple personality syndrome. Everybody has an objective that they're trying to complete with this person's body. And so you're just like switching in and out and like having this dude go on a random adventure, trying to get him to go places and complete an objective.
This sounds really cool, actually.
Yeah, it's very like quick game too. It is not like take a lot of time to play.
Nice.
I think it's just called Everybody's John.
Well, instead it's my turn on the brain.
Yeah.
It's my turn to pilot the meat suit.
Me too.
Yeah, Everyone is John
Meat
is the
match.
name of the game.
Alright.
Yeah, it's very fast and it's a very fun competitive thing.
Nice. Yeah, no, that sounds really cool, actually.
Mm.
It's always, like, funny how...
Oh, and you're not actually a John himself. You're a voice inside of his head. So even
Ah,
better. You're telling this poor dude to like go do shit. Like, hey, go hide in a washing machine. Why should I go hide in a washing machine? You'll love it. Do it. Trust me. You'll have a fun time.
a random voice in my head just said that right now. It's like, alright.
Awesome.
Like, I'll be right back, guys.
And then you have next voice pop and it's like, what the fuck are you doing in a washing machine? Come on, get going. You gotta go turn the entire world into toxic waste. It's like, what? I thought you told me to go. No, toxic waste. Toxic waste first.
But voice wants things more fun.
But yeah, it is a very fun game that I've been wanting to play with people. I just can't get a group together because I don't have friends.
Fair. What are we then?
We're people that somehow met in this room that have been trapped here for centuries. There used to be people before us, but all we have left are the bones. That one dude.
Oh, he's missing an arm now because I got hungry.
Oh.
Like,
I mean,
by the
you could
way,
try
don't-
talking to the ghosts flailing around in the room and the one dying on the pot, but they don't talk.
No, they
They
don't.
weren't given a voice.
They just wiggle.
And Kenya just told me we are the voice in his head. Yes,
Yay.
it is 100% what that is. It
I know
is.
this. That sounds really cool. I'm like completely like zoned out today. Like
I can tell.
kind of got nothing.
You know what though? Like I think that's fine because usually on your off days, I'm on it. I'm on the ball, and like on my off days, you're on the ball. So
All right.
I-
It all works out.
yeah, it all evens out. I mean, I can carry a conversation when I want to carry a conversation. Oh no. Oh, no one hear that. No one hear that. No one hear Steam going to big picture mode. Totally didn't happen.
Whee.
I was trying to.
Wait a minute.
No! I get so turned around by that. Exit big picture mode. Trying to close Steam, not. Yeah, I don't know why that happens when I'm trying to like. Actually, I know exactly why. It's because my little thing is in the way. My little window that tells me what people are telling me. I guess in this situation, the window that is the voices inside my head tells me what to do.
This is in my head. Okay.
Oh, was it not me?
No?
Oh. Started
Was it?
freaking out and I just immediately unplugged my mic.
No. You should listen for
I get
Katie
one
on that
one.
one. If Starshade starts flipping out, then yes. I was flipping out over Steam going into big picture mode because it's really loud when it does that, and I don't like it
Yeah,
doing
it's
that. but I can't control that, it seems. Sometimes my thing just goes like Steam just wants to be loud and heard and wants to have a voice in my life, and I'm like, Steam, you're running out of
Almost never
steam.
picture mode.
Steam forever.
Steam for everyone. Maybe
But it's
you
Steam.
could put it on that newfangled machine. I hear it's powered by Steam.
Unlike the old one that's powered by coal.
I mean, steam power is still coal power. It's just
Coal is
different
coal.
coal power.
This is water steam.
Boiling water.
Yeah, I'm boiling water to power my car.
How are you boiling water to power your car?
Yes.
Gas! That is the most inefficient use of gasoline you could possibly have. It's like, oh,
How do
hey,
Insane.
I'm gonna make a car that runs on gasoline. Oh, you gonna make a combustion engine? No, a steam engine. I
I,
mean,
ha- I have a gas generator that powers a boiler that boils water to the point where it becomes steam that then powers my car. Why not just have it gas powered?
yeah, I mean,
I'm
actually,
telling you.
technically, you could probably do it a lot easier nowadays by making a vacuum. Because I don't know how many of you guys know this, but when you reduce air pressure, the boiling point of objects goes down. Specifically water. So in a vacuum, water just straight up boils.
Yeah, probably would actually work then.
You put water in space,
Yeah, it turns into vapor.
It gets
yeah,
scared.
it disappears.
It
It
disevaporates.
disavapors. Hey, don't disavapor me. Um,
Oh, what is up with I'm playing GTA 5 right now and just randomly messing around, and for some reason a lot of the texture pop-in is like I'll be driving, it's like, oh yeah, no, everything looks nice, and then it's like I am in PS1 Silent Hill now.
PS1 Silent Hill. Ah, yes. I mean, I've
love
been
the
playing a
PS1.
Minecraft mod pack with some of my other friends, and I based up with the Art of WASD. He turned my base into a vampire village, and now it's just fog for days. So I live in Silent Hill zone now.
That's fun. It's been looking like Silent Hill outside for the last few days because how close the fires were.
Oh yeah, that sucks. Evan, you've been telling me about that.
Looks like everything's starting to turn out okay.
And by okay, I mean everything's on fire again. Just differently.
Now I think about it, my window was like kind of cracked open. Probably why my stomach kind of hurts because that really bad air quality.
Oh yeah. Just move to Oregon, man. Just move to
I
Oregon.
know. I know.
If you can complain about it, actually, you know what? I should probably pull out my humidifier for you, and so that way you can use that for a couple months, maybe even a year till you get used to shit.
Yeah. I did get when I first ever moved to Oregon. I did get sick.
Yeah,
It
just
only lasted like a week, but still.
yeah. I mean, just because it takes a while to get really used to the dry air, and even now I'm
Yeah.
still not like fully used to it, but I'm at least okay with it, so I don't need a humidifier anymore. But when I first moved here, like I could not exist. I needed to have my room have moisture, so
Yeah.
I'll definitely pull that out for you, and you can definitely use that. Also, supposedly, Kenya also said I need a triangle hat. I don't know what that's in reference to, but I'm just gonna nod my head and say yes.
Yeah. Can't see the nod though.
Mhm.
But it does exist.
Silent Hill.
Agreement, but I don't know what.
Why is everything foggy in game? I don't like. Where's the trainer that lets us?
I don't know. Have you tried
Whether-
getting another one?
Nah.
New game. Turn it off.
new game plus
Not
equals
your game, get a new one.
game plus new game equals new game plus plus.
Yeah. New Game Plus Plus. The game that you get an extra mode after you beat the game twice.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be Game Plus Plus?
No.
No. Do you not know how New Game Plus works?
Start the game over. All the things.
I mean, it depends on what game you're playing,
Things are
but
still
you could
going.
basically play the
Right,
game from the
right,
beginning
yes,
with save bonuses from your previous save of some sort. Sometimes you get all the levels, sometimes you just get all the weapons and items and money, and sometimes you just get cheese.
Yeah. That's
For
the word.
everyone?
Yeah, I mean, and some games will just make the game purposely harder too, which is a thing.
Yeah. No, Spider-Man PS4 is one of those where you just like all the power-ups you want with your suit.
I'm
How
of two
fast
minds
is
of
it?
that stuff. Like,
Also, I
I-
want to say like your
Uh.
your focus energy regenerates faster. It basically just makes the game easy.
yeah, I mean, I have nothing
Again,
against
but-
like having
but
an
that
easy
is
mode on a
the
game.
best.
Like,
Learn how to speedrun.
I guess it really depends on what kind of game you're trying to make. But when you have like the game purposely go into like really difficult mode after you do that, is kind of disconcerting, but at the same time makes sense. Other times, like
Yeah.
it's just fun if you have New Game Plus just to have a sandbox to continue playing in. I mean, some people get bored with sandboxes, but I could honestly play a sandbox world for a long time if I could.
For sure.
Of course, there's some exceptions to this. Not naming any names. Cough, cough, Terraria. Cough, cough.
Are you
Mm.
alright? Sound sick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should get off. You guys don't want to catch my COVID because I'm coughing.
I'm gonna put you in a.
That's controversial.
Just say I'm gonna put you in a COVID.
I said I'm gonna put him in a coffin.
Oh.
Yeah. You gotta
Well,
go
listen
the
to
way
my-
of the Billy Steen and listen.
Steenstein.
Steenstein, sorry.
Way of the
Billy
Mm.
Steenstein.
Wolfensteinstein. The new order. I didn't want this cheeseburger. I wanted nuggets.
on a nugget.
I wanted
I'm gonna
nuggets.
put it in my shrine.
We're all out. Did you check?
All I wanna do. That's all I do in
Mhm.
sandbox games. I just find items that I like and I make shrines.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
By the way, Kenya also said something about Silent Hill, but I didn't. She just said Silent Hill, so I don't know. Probably just talking in reference to us talking about Silent Hill, but
Ugly.
Something, some Silent Hills.
send
Think
shivers down your
something-
spine.
My
I
body.
think something
Most of the time. Not all the time.
Okay.
Freddy was fine.
Freddy was wrong. Oh, jeez. Where was I?
Hey, can you describe getting old in one song lyric? Body's aching all the time.
Goodbye, everybody.
Why do
Gotta
you
go.
have to go?
I gotta leave it all behind and face the truth.
Mama.
Is it too late? Is your time done?
Yeah.
For mom.
Yeah.
Sadly.
No, the floor didn't render here. I'm in Voidland.
Oh
I love
no!
that part.
How you disappear?
Nothing rendered here. Okay, it's all here.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. So like, other game that like I don't mind sandboxing is Skyrim. Skyrim is a game where I am so brokenly overpowered right now that it's not even a point playing. But I'm still playing. I'm still doing stuff. I'm still goofing off.
Yeah.
Uh,
Skyrim is definitely really good for that.
yeah.
Always when get to that point to do so. But then again, for the most
I mean,
part,
I was doing that since the beginning. I got super
point isn't
broken when I
terribly
first
hard.
started.
All right.
Because as soon as I got the ingredients to pull together, I did the restoration glitch, the fortified restoration glitch, and got myself negative 1 million enchants on everything. Actually, I don't even remember what level enchants I have. Let me see if I can pull it up.
All right.
So the Lynn chance to have.
I do glitchless because I good boy that and I don't know how.
Yeah, I do glitchless because I'm a good boy and don't know how.
I mean, I do a glitch for New Vegas every time I play through near infinite ammo glitch.
Yeah, I mean, I find exploiting bugs and game mechanics like really fun in of its own self. It's why it like
Oh yeah,
ticks
for
me off.
sure.
Like, I understand if you find a bug like that during like beta testing and whatnot, patch the sucker out. But if you patch the bug post game release, it kind of shoots your community in the foot because they spent
Or if
time.
it's like an online, their online game.
Yeah, because they spent the time. I would say even in a multiplayer online setting, because just because like there's leaderboards and whatnot doesn't mean it needs to be, perfect.
True.
Flaws of a game are just fun. I mean, and there will always be people who are just like, no, you must have the peer-to-peer experiences. But when a peer experience, like, what is actually a peer experience in a game? Like, when is it not an intended experience? Because there's lots of things you do that are just not intended by the game developer. It's why when you're making anything, whether it be a D&D campaign or a video game, instead of asking you, how does this work to make my story work, you always have to ask, well, what the fuck is my player gonna do?
Yeah.
Because if I was playing the game, like, I'd just do the objective from this to this to this. My player, he's gonna run off in a random direction and have no clue what he's doing.
Yep.
So it's like you have to take that stuff into account.
Absolutely.
Where am I? Oh yeah, I'm here. Let me. Okay, items. Barrel.
What the heck is happening? Oh yeah, moon gravity's on. But why is it clipping the floor though? That's not moon gravity. That's glitch gravity.
That's not what gravity does.
Moon gravity doesn't make things go downward or.
Yep. The moon gravity. That's Jupiter gravity.
Also doesn't make buses do like really quick turns for some reason. What?
My favorite part of moon gravity, quick turn.
Moon gravity's drunk right now is what's going on.
I just really want, like...
What? Bus so fast!
A video game where the playable characters all have, like, some sort of sandbox or glitch power.
Yeah.
It's really funny to me. Like, one person just can spawn stuff, but they can never pick. So it's just like, hold on, wait. Like, notebook, chair, the ultimate evil, undo.
That'd be pretty funny, actually.
And someone who just keeps constantly getting, like, clipping into stuff, and they're just like, like, they try to walk.
About to beat this enemy. No flip on. Falls through the floor. Wait, what?
Like, no clip turns on at random times. They're just flying everywhere trying to figure out what to do.
Gravity on. Oh, okay.
One can turn
on.
One just has, like, a cheat list. They're just always, like, trying to use them. They're like, flash, kill all. One falls over dead. Dang it!
Oh man, just one.
Sorry, I got a little silent. I'm actually trying to find these items because I don't know where I stored them. But I want to get the actual values and share them with everyone because it's something ridiculous. I mean, anybody who's done the glitch knows it's ridiculous. You can get it ridiculously high. And I personally have it so high that it actually doesn't work when I enchant stuff sometimes. It'll actually like just completely ignore the enchantment or just decide, nope, this is not a thing anymore.
Just allowed.
Yeah. Instead of having the best pickpocket in the world, your pickpocket chances are now negative. And now everything you pickpocket gets discovered.
Yeah.
Anytime you look at someone, they're like, "You gonna pickpocket me?" and they punch you in the nose.
Die.
You die. You have 0 health.
You come back.
I got
'Cause
better.
your health didn't go to 0. It went to like negative 10,000 on the counter, despite the fact that it doesn't reach negative value properly. So your health is actually more like 1. It says negative. Magic of video gaming. The magic of hardcore gamers.
I'm trying to think of more like broken abilities that would be annoying. This one person has like all the UIs open, so they know their exact positioning, direction facing. Like they just have numbers everywhere and they can't turn it off.
Yes.
They know everything, but they can never not know everything.
They know everything, but they'll never be able to see anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where it went, and it's gonna take me a while. Oh, found it, cause I forgot. I did another more different glitch. If that makes it so I can wear all the things I ever wanted. So currently I'm wearing a ring, a necklace, another ring, another ring, another necklace, and another necklace, and another necklace. So I'm wearing 3 rings and 3 necklaces.
Get that bling.
Yeah. And the necklace of crafting is the one that has my things. So let's see here if I can get this number correct on the first try. So created potions are 375,265,280% more powerful. And the same thing with whenever I improve weapons or armor with blacksmithing. Would you like to know the value of this necklace?
Yeah, sure.
Give me a sec. Yeah, its true value is negative 2,147,483,163.
Why negative though?
I don't know. Because Stack Overflow, it's the net value so high it just becomes negative.
Alright.
Is what I'm assuming what happened, but yeah, also my magic regeneration is in the negatives. As well as like my sneak is in the negative.
Wow.
My health increases in negative. And so is my stamina. But if I go to my skills,
health every second.
Takes a step, dies.
Yeah. It's definitely a thing. Here, I'm just gonna take a screenshot of that, and I'll send it to you guys a little bit later. It is probably the best numbers you've ever seen on a stat screen. If you can read them. If you guys can read them, that would be amazing. If you can't read them, don't worry. That's normal. Like, you know when you, like, go into your perks menu, you can see how much health, stamina, and magicka you have, right?
Yeah.
Magic.
There's so... What Skyrim does is when you have it has a basic height of this is what the number is, like this is the size of what gets printed when it is a single digit, and then when you add a digit, it has a formula that reduces it by X amount to give it space to fit on there. So that way, if you have 1,000 health or 1,000 magicka, it doesn't end up in a point where it's interfering with anything else in the interface. But once you take that to the ridiculous extreme and have, billions of health, it's just this tiny little thing. In fact, I'm gonna do this now.
Yeah.
Just gonna power options, turn off. Need to pull out my SD card. It's probably still in my SD card.
You're doing that.
Yeah, go for it. You have 5 minutes before you have to talk about something else, though.
Alright, so I was tired of making girls switch boy. Alright, give him green hair. That's gonna look really good with the constant red eyes you're supposed to have. Looks a little dumb.
Christmasman.
Yeah, it's Christmas. I was like, what should I name him? For some reason, he reminded me of a slime. Like, alright, gel. But I spelled it Jelle, so it can look like jelly. So whenever they're like talking to him, they call him like Lord. So they say Lord Jelly, and I'm just like, this is the stupidest name.
No, it's jelly.
It's
Say it
Jelly.
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 I love Jelly.
That's
He's my
wait,
favorite
what?
Fire Emblem
You have
character.
to say it like
Scottish.
what?
No, sorry, I'm not all there.
He's my
I'm-
favorite.
Yeah,
character.
Wait up!
I'm everywhere.
My favorite character now. I'll never go back. I will
You're
make
in muscle.
Jelly in every game.
Just jelly.
Chef, there's a
Good,
Brandon
Good,
in my
put it
soup.
down.
Eat it.
I
Good.
hate stomach aches. I mean, I don't know anybody that does, but there has to be some.
Yeah,
Someone's like, oh yeah, I got a stomach ache. This
Oh, you
good day.
stomach ache.
there's a
Woo!
person for everything.
That's true. If it exists, there's a person.
Person doing things all the time.
Doing all the things after him.
Why are you doing all the small things?
Truth care, true brings.
I love Jelly. He has
Yeah.
not married anyone yet, despite Fire Emblem customary thing where everyone gets married before chapter 10.
Do you get to name them?
Not everybody. You only get to name your one character.
Okay.
William, I'm gonna throw you away.
That's right.
I'll kill you.
What?
Don't-
Old blood.
What'd I do?
Everything. Did everything wrong.
Oh, what did I
See
do?
what this is.
Okay.
Oh yes, 112 speech.
Ah,
Oh,
Just say-
you want me to read the tiny numbers? Okay, here, let me open them in Google.
hi. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
my
and
money.
for point of reference for everyone at home,
Zoom in.
go ahead, take this.
Ah,
and
yes,
delete
very
that.
blurry.
What?
Which one do you want me to read?
Any one. I believe they should all pretty much be the
Oh.
same.
Yeah, they're all the same.
This is I can't even expand it fully out just because it takes away from. I mean, I can, but yeah, that's
William, stop.
I can read it. Jeez.
Genuinely makes me uncomfortable. I don't even want to get in that.
So,
part of the chat.
that's what I have currently going on, and I'm not even playing it on like a version that I probably should be playing it on. I'm playing it on the Switch, so
Oh wow. That's pretty interesting.
mostly because I did that for like the irony of it because oh, it's a Switch, so it should be like most best
Yeah.
thing out of everything.
I can't even read
Alright,
those
so you
numbers.
got 58,377,171,648 health, stamina, and magic.
Yeah, and here's the thing:
Uh,
is I also have enchantments that increase my regeneration speed, but just by default, in Skyrim, the higher the value, the faster the value regenerates. So,
we are.
yeah,
We
William, we know. You don't need to be time boy. Just don't worry about it. That's my job.
I
Yeah.
will. I am time lad.
Don't
Oh,
be
you're
time
not.
lad, William. We don't want you to be time lad. Don't worry about it. That's my job. Don't take my
Someone
germ.
time with you.
And we're still kind of doing a bit here, so we'll do it after the bit is done.
Yeah, we'll be right back after
Yeah,
the bit.
we don't need. I'm just gonna say that not just for everyone at home, but I'm gonna say this more or less just for Billy Steen. Even though at one we do start Cadivania, if we have another thing going, like we're gonna continue until that reaches a full stop, and then do Cadivania. Like, just
Yeah, I'm not gonna get pissy about it. Like,
yeah,
we have a conversation happen.
we have a conversation, and the entire point of this is to have a natural conversation. To just bring in a conversation to a full stop out of nowhere doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
For
But yeah,
sure.
I think besides that, that I did it for the irony of it because, well, Nintendo products is like, oh, they're not very glitchy, or there's not a whole lot of bugs in the games. Yeah, I mean, I do know that there are bugs. There's bugs and exploits and everything, but it's not something you
Oh,
can
yeah.
really find, or when you do, they tend to be patched out real fast. These days,
Definitely.
especially since like Nintendo really wants to keep an image as clean as Apple has. So that's why I did
Yeah.
that. But
That's fair.
it's that, and it really prevents me from doing any sort of modding on the save file, just because I could mod the save file if I was on Xbox or on PlayStation. It wouldn't be easy,
Yeah.
but there's tools and stuff that are for it. But there's not much tools when it comes to Switch.
For sure.
Yeah, it's been something I've been doing for the past couple of years. It's something I've been enjoying doing, and something I will continue in doing.
Hey.
Other than that, I think we'll move on to the one and only true segment of our show. So with that and start, with that being said, I believe we're gonna have Katie Vania tell us all about Maria.
Okay. So I decided to talk about Maria. One, she's cool. Two, she's in one of the best Castlevania games, Symphony of the Night. And of course, everyone's gonna know her as the adult version, where she still has her magic spells. You have to do Street Fighter combos. But she was actually in the first game with Victor Belmont as a 12-year-old that got captured by Dracula.
Oh, wow.
Little sus, but we're moving on.
Boss.
So she's only 12 years old when she gets captured by Dracula. She's like a vampire huntress already at 12 because of her magic. Because she has magic spells. She has like mastery over them. Perfect. She has animal spirits for familiars and 4 celestial beasts. So she's already like really good. So of course they're like nerf her instantly. Put her in a cage.
Nerf her.
So when the minions of Dracula show up at the town in Rondo of Blood, the first game she appears in, they show up and she starts beating them up. And then even the game's like, I don't know how she was caught, man. I don't know how they got her. Somehow they brought her in. They brought her in with 2 people we don't really care about, like Iris and Tara. Don't care about them, whatever. But Annette's the other one we care about because that's Richter Belmont's fiance, who's like distantly related to Maria. Like, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty.
be related to Richter Belmont for like a year or something. So
Just
she
for a
gets
year.
just about a year, I guess. I don't know when he married her. Just sometime.
Over the
So Maria
rainbow.
gets in-
Yeah.
yeah, somewhere over the rainbow. It's related to Richter Belmont. Isn't that what we all want in life?
To be related to Richter Belmont. Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to be related to a Belmont because that would somehow also make me a Belmondo.
That.
Not only that, but I don't fight Dracula ever.
Yeah, then just don't be in Europe or Japan when there's a solar eclipse.
I mean, I
There you
also
go.
think Dracula's a stupid name, so.
Yeah, why not Alucard is a better one. It's not
Alucard's
like it's just
Dracula
Dracula
backwards.
Still a better name.
It's still a better name. It's
So,
unlikely.
Dracula is Alucard backwards. How dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That's my new canon. Thought of Alucard first and said, no, I'm gonna put that backward. Maria ends up imprisoned in the sewer. Yeah.
Alright, fine. I'll be Dracula. And then by the time Alucard took the name, that name was no longer taken. Counted as
Count got terminated for
reasons.
inactivity.
Yes. For inactive. Alright, continue.
Maria gets imprisoned in the sewer. And to get to her, you gotta like carry a key as your sub weapon through an entire level, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like Rondo of Blood, it was a good introduction game to the character known as Richter Belmont, but it was just blah, blah.
Belmondo.
Yeah.
Gmon.
Yeah. Ralph Belmondo, my favorite character.
Ralph every time.
Ralph.
Just Ralph.
Just.
Alright.
He finds Maria and she's like, hey yo, what's up? I'm a vampire huntress. Richter's like, you're 12? And I'm
you're
like,
12?
You're 12? I'm a grown man. I am
Are you a
extremely
little
buff.
young to be a vampire huntress? Yes. Yes, I am.
Sticks out to me.
Yeah, he literally laughs at her and he's like, leave the vampire hunting to an older guy like myself because you're too small. And Maria's like, summons a dragon out of sheer rage. Like, fine, jeez, whatever. You can help me kill Dracula.
God, dude,
come on, kill Dracula.
And then in the final confrontation, Maria's like, here, have a protection spell. Whee. Isn't that cool?
Oh. Like this. I want an attaction spell.
I don't like the protection spell.
I wanted anti-protection spell that just kind of.
I want a spell
Something that lowers my defenses so I get hurt more.
Something that.
Well, I was thinking like just protects everything else
Jane.
but me, so it
Protects the
Dracula.
air.
it just protects Dracula and everyone else in the entire universe, but I have no protection.
You get protected. You get protected. I do not get protected.
We're all out of protection.
This is more of inverse
Sorry,
protection,
man,
but
we're
yeah.
all out of protection.
Yeah.
That sounds suggestive.
It's
Inverse
fine.
protection spell.
That does sound suggestive. It didn't need to sound like that.
I know.
It's so
I just heard it and it's like,
Moving
that's an
on.
innuendo.
fun.
New
Where's the
thing.
window?
8 years later, Richter goes missing. Under a full moon. He's just gone. This is in 1796, by the way.
Ah.
So, that's a while ago. So Richter
No.
goes missing, and Maria's like, oh no, the man is gone. I must
no. He died. Oh no.
I must avenge him for my father's sake.
Yeah.
So
Anyways.
she searches for a year. Like, she's trying her best. And then Dracula's castle appears. She's like, well, finally. Took you long enough. And then
Sweet
she's
time.
roaming around the castle, and then some dude appears named Alucard. He's like, "Hey yo, I'm here to kill Dracula, my dad." She's like, "What? What?"
Yeah.
Hey yo, Sean Kingston. That joke.
I don't know that show.
Not show, but joke.
Yeah, I don't know that joke.
Fair. You're not. I don't know. Continue, please. Having a stroke again.
Alucard shows up. He's like, "Hey yo, just woke up, ready to kill my dad. You want to join me?" Mira's like, "You just woke up?" He's like, "Yeah, for my 300-year nap. It was a good nap.
I took
You
a
should
nap.
Try it sometime.
Should try it sometime."
I took.
There's a miracle on the back.
It was
Yeah,
freaking great.
Mira's like,
Alright.
"Oh, another human." Alucard's like, "Yeah, I'm Alucard. I'm a half vampire. Don't ask.
You freaking fricks.
Which
My
half?
mom was a freak."
You freak! You're a freak!
What's up with fictional media and girls like going out with like demons and dracs?
They're hot.
Cause it's cool.
That's fair.
You're telling me if a female vampire came up to you, will you
I am
do?
not legally required to answer this question.
I'm not a lawyer.
I'm not obligated to answer these questions.
I'm not Phoenix Wright. I
I'm
don't.
Phoenix. Go. I mean, wrong.
What?
Yeah.
What the frick?
The
Good
Phoenix
job.
knows
Yeah.
better.
Oh, Kenya just said I am his lawyer.
Oh, there you go.
He has to. Yeah. Yes, he is. He has to.
Yes. And yes.
I don't think the question was asked yet, though.
Oh, in that case, ask the question.
What would you do if there's a female vampire
Yes.
instead of Dracula?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Both of them might say, wow,
Well,
Yes.
then-
Yes.
first.
Kenya
Now
decided
you
it was too
understand.
late.
Okay. I tried.
Oh, I like your shoes. They're nice shoes.
They're nice
Oh,
shoes.
oh,
I didn't realize your shoes are made of ice.
Shoes were made for slipping. That's
Your
what
shoes-
What they'll do?
Your shoes
They'll
are made
slide
out
down
of
these
shoes.
stairs.
they're
Slide
actually
right into
socks.
you.
Where do you get your hair done? Oh dear.
Drax rack in Iraq.
Drax Rack?
Yeah,
Iraq.
Iraq. I pay with my coin sack.
Back on topic. We have
Let's do that.
thrown the rails into the
Yeah.
garbage.
Anyways,
So, Maria's wandering the castle because she can't find Richter anywhere. Like, she can't find him. For
Yeah.
some reason, you can't find evil Richter with long hair. It's a shame. She'd probably think it's cool. She sees Alucard beat up some guy, like, real easy because he's really overpowered in this game, so yeah, I'd be impressed too.
yeah.
Like, Alucard, can you help me find Richter? He's like, yeah, sure, why not? He finds him.
I mean,
He's dead.
immediate.
Yeah, he like immediately finds him too. It's really funny.
Duh.
Yeah.
Just, I've looked everywhere. Opens one door. Hey.
Did you
found
look in the arena? Oh, I didn't look in the arena. Yeah, that's where he was. He was sitting on a throne with evil long hair. Looked really cool. I'd date him.
He is really cool. He
I'd
took
sim.
out his
I'd
skateboards.
simp. Alucard.
I'd simp it again.
Call me
Alucard
Simpin
just goes, I'd
Belmont.
simp. I'd simp.
They call me Simpin Belmont.
Simpin.
So Alucard's like,
Oh.
yeah, he's in league with Dracula, and he thinks he's lord of the castle. And Maria's like, well, at least he's alive. Could have been dead. Could have been named Belmondo.
Oh no.
Fate worse than death.
The fate word of the
I have a
Belmondo.
serious vendetta against Belmondo.
Yeah, I
It's such a
hate it.
stupid name.
a stupid name. They changed Trevor to Ralph, and it makes me upset.
Yo,
Mm.
does he wreck it?
Trevor's already a pretty simple name, but then Ralph. Just Ralph.
Ralph.
Just
Ralph
raw.
Just-
Belmondo.
Ralph.
Ralph Mondo.
Wreck things, probably, maybe.
Maria's like, at least he's alive, but I don't believe that he's evil. And then literally just immediately finds out. She's like, oh no, I can't be that guy. Look at that hair.
Look at that hair. I can't.
Ignore the disc, or not the Discord, the Windows being there. But
So she decides to fight Alucard, which is a terrible idea considering the game. She's like, I gotta test you, and Alucard's like, really? Really?
you pass with
I
flying
know.
colors, unless her name is Dracula.
Punches her in the face, and she's immediately like, wow, you're really good.
Amazing.
Yo,
Please?
what?
It's amazing.
She's like, please don't hurt Richter. Please don't hurt him.
Richter.
And he's like, but he's gotta be stopped. And she's like, you're right. Here, have these holy glasses so you can see
Yo.
through evil illusions.
Yo, you right.
Understandable.
there's a-
Happened today.
There's a couple endings to Symphony of the Night, and it's all based on what you do in the fight against Richter as Alucard. So, like, the worst ending possible is, like, after Maria gives you the holy glasses, you don't even put them on, and you just go kill Richter. And it's just
Oh.
like... And Maria's like, I wish he could have been alive. And Alucard's like, yeah, me too, whatever. I'm gonna go take a nap. You go finish my nap. And then there's the maybe even worse ending where you do put on the holy glasses, but you still kill Richter.
Oh,
Because the holy glasses let you see like this orb that floats around Richter that is the Dark Priest Shaft.
Yes, the Dark Priest, Shaft.
I know. Why did they name him Shaft? Why is his name Shaft? I hate that name so much.
the reference to the old show from the 70s. Maybe.
So,
Probably
I don't
not.
I don't know. I really don't know, but yeah, it's Shaft, the ghost of Shaft. He's here, guys. Wee. So if you destroy the orb, you get access to an inverted castle where Dracula is. So you go up there as Alucard, you sprint up there and say, Dad, what's up? I'm here to kill you.
Father, yes, son, I want to kill you.
Yeah, but since you're Alucard, he actually does it because the Alucard shield is broken.
Ah.
It's absolutely broken. It's really funny to watch because he's got like this really big, intimidating sprite, Dracula does, and you're just sitting there like hitting him with your shield, like not even moving. And Maria, yeah, so Maria's like, alright, I'll help Richter get out of the castle. You kill Dracula, okay? And Alucard's like, how's that? They destroy the castle because it always crumbles when Dracula dies for some reason.
But it
Nobody-
came back.
Why? I don't know.
I don't know.
Cause it's cool.
Was
Yeah,
it bound to his soul or
Why
whatever?
does this castle keep on crumbling?
Cause
It's like
something,
so
something,
much property
plot
damage.
armor plus something,
Something
something.
Dracula's soul.
Yeah,
Something awesome, something. Da-da-da-da,
because
da-da-da.
plot.
Something dark side.
Come on.
That's a good one.
Alucard's like, so my blood's cursed because Dracula's my father, so I'm gonna go back to sleep. And Maria's like, no, I'm in love with you now.
I'm gonna take another nap.
Marry me. Have my children say hi to you.
Maria's like, no, wait, I'm in love with you. Please don't go back to sleep. Victor's like, yeah, go get him, Tiger. I'm going home.
Don't
Yeah.
take a nap or you'll be grounded.
If you
It's
do
like
go back to
doom, doom, doom. Go home now.
if you do go back to bed, don't go alone. Bow chicka bow wow.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take me.
Take me. Holds her up like Link does when he gets time. Alright, so was that all for Mariah Carey.
Yeah. There's
Oh.
one thing that I really have a problem with, that in the original Rondo of Blood, due to the anime style of it, they for some reason gave her like large bust for a 12-year-old, and then they're like, wait, that's a terrible idea, fix it.
Wait, that's illegal.
Yeah.
Literally.
From where we are, that's illegal. Said the dev team.
Yeah. Like
Illegal.
her,
They just passed Japan like 14.
I don't,
14,
I don't
16.
know.
I don't know. Yes, do you know?
Why would I keep track of that?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm a big
Japan.
Japanese buff, but like that is. I
mean,
don't
I
even
thought
know
that
what the legal standards are in America, much less any other country.
You have to be. You have to be 69. Haha, fun.
It's a little weird.
A little.
But there's one more thing about Maria that I really enjoy, and it's a glitch for another game that she's in, where she's a secret character. Where if you do, it's a weird glitch where it's picking a mode. Where you go
By the
to
way,
click-
it's Kenya just chimed in. It's 13. Is the legal age apparently.
Thanks.
Well, she's
Yeah,
12,
that's-
so
it's
not
still
even there
illegal.
yet. Not even there yet.
Oh.
So in the game, she's a secret character, and she's in a special mode where you play as Richter and Maria, because it's a double player cast. Well, not double player, but you like switch between two characters.
It's double
Do all this
vein, yeah.
stuff. Yeah, double vein, yeah. So you can also play as an axe armor, which is just like one dude, but you can glitch out the game where it puts you in axe armor mode, but you're Maria, so you're just playing as Maria.
I'll be right
Little
back.
12-year-old Maria throwing birds.
Alright,
I just want
okay.
to acknowledge this real quick, just because I see it pop up. So age of consent in Japanese is 13, but Tokyo has it banned sexually until 18. It was just trigger
yes,
3
in
comments by
Japanese.
Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Actually, hold on a sec.
Alright, I'm gonna go use the restroom.
Yeah, go for it. I just want to bring it up because I like making people feel included, and I feel really bad about that one time where I wasn't paying attention, and then her and Art just kind of posted a bunch of messages, and then I didn't respond to them, and then they just kind of left.
So,
Well, you should know who that is. I'm trying to keep people's information private, you know. Can somebody not? I don't know who's doing the Japanese text-to-speech, but
that's the age of consent in Japanese. You mean in Japan?
William, we got it. Okay, I mean I'll call you Lily if that's what you want. I know you're very public about it. I'd like to be careful. Anyways, were we something about Maria? And I think I know what might be the glitch you're talking about, but please continue.
Yeah, so the game thinks it's in axe armor mode, but it actually just made you just Maria, which means you can't complete the game because there's parts that require you to be Richter in the Richter and Maria mode. So you get stuck.
Yeah, and can't you do it the other way too, where you get stuck, it's just Richter as well?
Yeah, I think, yeah. And you're like, you can't do anything.
Yeah, and it just soft locks the entire game.
Then the guy who was doing the glitch thing was like, if you want to do a just Maria mode, just never use Richter Belmont unless it's for the movement sections, and then switch back immediately. Like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I mean that just seems like the better option overall.
Yeah.
Because like instead of just making your game broken, might as well just make it a challenge run and see how much you can use Maria over Richter.
Yeah.
Favorite challenge run I've ever seen of a Castlevania is no equipment Alucard of Symphony of the Night. You just punch everything to death.
My
I mean,
God, that sounds
all I know about Castlevania is a soft locking YouTube video I seen about death. So
the soft locking of the night.
soft
Oh
lock.
yeah,
Right.
the original Castlevania.
Yeah, where you do some save shenanigans on accident, and then you get stuck in fighting death forever.
Nice.
Oh no, I wasn't talking about that one. I was talking about. Well, no, I guess it isn't soft lock. It's more of a freeze.
Hmm.
Death in like really old, like the original cartridges, like the first batch, I guess.
Hmm.
Death would crash your game because he'd spawn too many sides.
Oh wow.
Like he would,
Hmm.
like the battle would start and he'd start spawning sides, and I guess he would spawn 3, and the game would be like, oh no, please.
Yeah, I mean, I forget the exact
Drink.
situation of that I'm thinking about, but I think what it is once you trigger it using save shenanigans, what happens is when you go and defeat death, the doors won't open, so you're stuck in death's chamber for the rest of eternity.
Well,
Oh,
you
I
are
think
dead.
I remember that one. It's like if you skip the cutscene at the wrong time, like if you do it on a weird frame.
Yeah, but you also have to have
Yeah.
like a save just before it too.
Yeah, it's the save just before it, and it just ruins everything.
Yeah, you're
I
stuck.
kind of remember.
I mean, at least Death finally did its job for once,
Oh yeah, hold on.
preventing
Was-
a Belmont
Yes.
from reaching the center of Dracula's castle.
Like,
What
it
did you
was
do?
Portrait of Ruin. Yeah, it was Portrait of Ruin
Yeah.
because you had the 2 character thing.
I mean, like I said, at least Death finally did his job, keeping a Belmont away from Dracula's inner castle. I mean,
Yep.
they really should have just did that from the beginning, because it seems like it fully stops him.
I mean, they did do that in the beginning. He would crash the game.
He did crash the game. He's like, don't
He's
play
Had
it.
to nerf him.
Life form.
Good old Crashrovania.
Oh god. So I'm assuming with that Katie Vanian's more or less lost steam at this point.
I mean, yeah, I'd say so.
All right,
What time is it?
127.
127.
Yeah,
So I mean we can end it a little bit early. That's fine.
I have the game.
Yeah, mostly just because
That's
like
all
I
luck.
had another topic I wanted to talk about that kind of had to do with
Alright.
crashing, but then I forgot it. So let
Can I
me
say the game real quick?
go for it.
It's Portrait of Ruin, and it's not a Belmont, but Death is. He still does his job, which is
Hmm.
keep vampire hunters out.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have Portrait of Ruin or you want to like emulate it, have
What?
fun.
In the
Yeah.
portrait. He's a
Break the
Sharpie.
game.
Go for it.
Okay, I remember what it is. So, speaking of a game that crashes it constantly and doesn't let you play it, the first Magicka game, it is impossible to play sometimes, especially just getting past chapter 2. I don't know if it's just a problem for me or other people have this problem. I mean, I know other people I've played with have this issue, but the game literally just will randomly have crashes anyways.
Unstable.
Yeah, it's just highly unstable. I don't think it's unstable because of like the coding or whatnot. I think it's just because it's an old game trying to play on a really new system.
That makes sense.
I don't
But-
get this computer. Goodbye.
Yeah. But what makes it even worse is there's a spell that you can cast to crash items and like game objects. As well, if it hits another person, it will crash that player. So I have a friend I play the game with, and they love casting that spell. And
you've activated my crash card.
I don't. Yeah, so I essentially
You
never
activated
know
my-
if I'm crashing because the game is crashing or if because I'm being purposely crashed.
That that definitely sounds interesting.
Yeah. I mean, if
It's
I
cool
was to play
idea.
Magicka with people, I'd probably play Magicka 2 now, just because that one's easier. Doesn't have crashing problems.
Yeah.
For
I
sure.
don't know if they have the crash spell in there. Probably don't.
Maybe.
That's a fun series of games. I would like to. I mean, 2 games. I would like to continue playing that someday.
Alright.
Especially since it's kind of hard to play on your own.
Yeah. Sense.
Hmm.
Da.
Then the only 2 people I can really play it with are. Well, one of them's a good person. The other one's not a good person. So, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I don't talk. I'm not talking about like their characters. I'm just talking about like playing with them is not always a fun time.
For sure.
It can be like that.
Yep, it does happen. Alright. What else? There that anyone?
There you go.
How about we do fill time until Rise can come back from the restroom?
Yeah, we could try and do. Yeah.
Alright,
Alright.
I'll be back soon.
Hey.
I'm sure
That
about that video game with stupid, like, broken powers.
one.
The one where, like, someone's randomly clipping, someone has constant UI, someone's
no,
on stuff, but in, like, a random order.
It just sounds like for a game. There's just not so much glitching, but like the console stuff just keeps on getting pulled up, and like the menus constantly get pulled up and stuff. It sounds like it'd be really funny. That's like a good not so much parody game, but definitely like a comedy game with parody elements. That do
Yeah.
that. Call it Crashervania. Don't. Capcom.
Up my toe. I
Yeah.
rolled my toe and
It's
popped it.
called-
It hurts.
How did you pop your
I rolled it.
Oh, that'll be $500. Doctor, I broke my arm. Well, then don't break it again. 100.
What?
Doc, I'm really depressed and I don't know what to do with my life. I just need help. Stop
Just
being
stop
sad.
being sad, loser.
Stop being sad.
No,
But I can't.
It's like-
That'll be $500.
Therapist Sonic is back.
It'll be 99 gold rings. But almost all of them will go away because they're about to get another life. I don't care, loser. Pay up. You want my help or not? I mean, really, you're not really good at it. Wait, so you gonna cry now, little baby?
No, I'm gonna leave you a 1-star review on Yelp.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll delete it immediately. Fast.
Cause I'm based.
Mhm.
All right. Well then, you find that I already did it. Then wait, what?
Wait. Yeah. What if you like just not see it? What are you gonna do about it then, huh, Sonic?
So fast. That is the answer to everything.
Gotta go fast.
I just thought of another really crappy
Get go
power I
fast.
have.
Oh, okay.
Not really a power, but like,
Power.
yeah, like randomly untexturing, like you just suddenly become black and pink text, like checkered. Like, ugh.
Random loss of polygon.
You suddenly
It's not a
become
loss of
square.
polygon count, that's a loss of texture. Well,
like
I'm saying like something else.
texture of your clothes goes away and suddenly you're all bright and black.
Why don't you get a pickaxe?
Every now and then, like randomly drop to like PS1 graphics and stuff. And there's a spell that you can cast that makes it so whoever you're fighting temporarily gets Atari 2600 graphics.
what are we talking about
Like
again?
it still works.
We're talking
The-
about
Virtual Boy.
Katie's hypothetical. No, we're not talking about the virtual. Where have you been?
Oh, so like Virtual Boy graphics.
No, it's just that's just the and this is the SNES but in red and black.
SNES Red Edition.
Yeah, the SNES SP Red Edition.
No. Like, please fill me in on the prior conversation.
We were talking about, you know, like that hypothetical idea that Katie had for like the game where like all like different HUD things keep on getting screwed up and like the console keeps on like randomly booting and stuff.
No, but
Everybody's
that
just
sounds
clicking
awesome.
the whole time.
Oh well, we were having that like at the. I think that actually that was that pre. No, I wasn't pre-talk. That was like at the very beginning, but talking about that, and then like we're just adding like more things to it.
Okay.
Oh well, you have been filled in.
I've been filled in. I probably killed the conversation, but thank you.
The answer was
No.
C, by the way.
Someone whose stats keep like hit like just go up constantly till they hit overflow and go back to like 0.
Stack over. Well, I mean, if you unassign the int, then it just goes to negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Imagine
doing
like
negative damage.
I just imagine like an NPC with that, where they're like almost like Twitter-ish,
Mhm.
or like their strength gets like temporarily buffed. Like, oh my
Well,
god,
then-
I can do anything! You anger me! And then they're like about to punch them, and then the stat drops back down to 0, and then their fist just like drops to the floor. Dang it! Every time, man. And they're like trying to take like a whole bunch of different like stat boosting drugs to make it last more, making it go by even faster.
Yeah, it just keeps rolling. The numbers keep going.
Like it makes
The UI guy's like, can you stop,
It
please?
makes- so that it goes like their stats reset in the span of like 2 minutes to like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's like
But-
non-stop changing.
The UI guy's like, can you please stop?
Can you just please stop? There are so many numbers flashing on it, and now there's none, and now there's more. Now this is very large fluctuations I'm noticing.
Keep doing this, I'm gonna get a seizure and I'm gonna fall over. The UI's gonna follow me.
It's gonna fall down. You're gonna have to pick it up.
Unless you're the real Slim Shady.
You have to pick
When
up all
someone's
the
just-
pieces. Then
When
please
someone's just halfway in the floor. It's like,
everywhere.
this is
for-
okay.
Well, I mean, it's like I gotta go pick it. Oh wait, hold on, real Slim Shady's gotta stand up. I can't pick it up right now.
And there's the clipping guy. Halfway
Yeah.
in the floor.
The good old clipping
Chill.
guy. A posing
Yeah.
halfway to the floor.
Yeah, he's like, here we go now.
And every now and then his collision comes back on for just a few seconds, so he starts violently clipping.
Better yet, have the so like the ground texture is like several layers higher than the actual ground collision is at. So you're just
Yeah.
always constantly like in the middle of the ground texture.
Yes, absolutely.
Though
I'm
like
gonna
not like have it so high that you can notice, but like only when you're like paying attention, you just see like everything is like in the ground constantly.
Yeah. So it's like
He's a little sunken.
yeah, it's like level of it's like just barely above your feet type.
And like every time like you just kind of like go into walls and whatnot, like you kind of notice that you kind of go a little bit further than the wall actually intends.
And like like your hitbox is a little smaller than your actual body.
Like give everything screwed up. That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Everything's a little bad.
Everything. Yeah. This is
Mhm.
intention bad.
Have every hit decided by an RNG slider, but like the RNG is not randomized every single time. So whether or not you hit is decided on when you booted it up and how long it's been. So you can easily
God.
always notice, like, the first 30 hits are never gonna hit, but the 31st hit does.
That is just wow.
Like sometimes your hand just untextures itself and it's just like, oh yeah, that happened.
Oh, yeah, that happens sometimes. Oh, you're right. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah. If I touch somebody else with it, they get it. Like a disease.
You aware that your hair is slightly hovering off your head? Yeah, does that.
That's why I wear hats.
I wear hats. The hat's also hovering. You win some, you lose some.
Have the
That's
eyes
why I
be
wear
textured
This is
on
really
and not
cool.
actually modeled?
Yeah, that would definitely be very.
But like
interesting.
try and make the eyeballs as realistic as possible.
Like really good textures of eyeballs, but they're still textures.
Yeah,
So if they get
not
hit with the
actually. Yeah.
Get hit with the untextured disease, suddenly you just have checkerboard eyes.
Checkerboard eyes.
Crash, please don't crash. Game was about to crash, and then I begged, no, please, I have somebody, and then it was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, good job.
Well, I have somebody too.
No.
Oh,
That
his
was
internet
so
crash.
sad.
Oh, okay.
That was sad because he's like, I have
Mhm.
somebody too, as he fades away.
Fades
I
away.
crashed.
You got hit by the disappearing disease.
I got hit by the crash spell.
Yeah, oh, crash spell. God, making it
The
so
entirety of Discord crashed.
yeah,
On too many projectiles.
make it so like nothing in your inventory responds to clicks or is not interactive at all. But for some reason,
Oh.
whenever you click randomly, it does select an item, so it doesn't do anything, but you think it does.
You go to select an item, and it pulls out an item that was like 2 below it.
No.
Yeah.
The interaction boxes are all like shifted up.
This is just game inconvenience the game at this point.
Game
Yeah, but
inconvenience.
it'd be funny.
It would be funny. I mean, like, try and make it the glitchiest, buggiest game, but also, like, intentionally make it as inconvenient as possible.
This is like Murphy's Law of the game.
Murphy's Law. The buttons never do, like in the config, the button mapping don't actually line up with what it's telling you.
And then
So
like,
when you
having
try
to go-
changing it to a more convenient key, like it changes something else, and you're like, what the fuck? And like have it be random every single time, so you change forward from W to Q, it changes going backwards to Q instead of going forward. And then you try changing it back to W, and then it goes and changes hitting things to number pad 0.
Oh my god, I just thought of like the worst one to do that type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you didn't like the config you set up, so you click reset to default, everything gets wiped, and you have to everything.
Oh my god.
That would be so terrible.
It would be like the best Twitch rage game you would ever see.
You would not run this at GDQ.
Taskbot tries and plays the game.
Does his best. He can't do it.
He can't. Taskbot, he's our man. If he can't do it, I guess someone else can.
Someone else
Someone
gives
else
it a
might.
shot.
Make it so the map's brightness is like super dark. Can't see anything.
Honestly,
not that one.
I kind of like that one, but not so like can't see anything, but like
It's where it's hard to see things.
make it so it's like oh my god, why not just have it so that like it says it got brighter, but it actually didn't.
It's the same gamma.
Anytime you move the slider, it gets darker. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
which
you still have like an
direction you move
image
it.
underneath it that like makes you think that it's actually changing something.
and then you just get back, and like even though you put it to max brightness, the whole screen's just black for a few seconds, and then it takes effect over like the course of like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It, like slowly fades in, like a camera adjusting its lighting.
Yeah. Better yet, like it also changes your aspect ratio.
Oh my gosh.
Like it's like way too bright, so you have to turn it back down. You have to sit through another like 3 minutes of darkness.
And it comes
Yes.
back and it goes from 16:9 resolution to like 10:7 resolution.
Then you reset the default and it just crashes the game.
Crash.
Nobody
The
Nobody
game turns
make this
off
a
your
game.
computer.
Somebody do make this a game.
Somebody
please.
do,
you would get murdered by
This is
everyone.
No, it would be funny because like everyone would get it. Everyone would be like, "Oh my gosh, this is a rage game." Like that's the entire point.
Yeah, it's just straight up the perfect rage game.
Literally the land of inconveniences, and it's how
Everything-
long are you going to last in this purgatory?
Yeah.
This
And
is
like the only
hypothetical
achievement
world.
for doing it is like there's just one trophy. There are like one achievement on Steam that you get
and
for
you get
completing.
it when you first launch the game.
No. You get it when you complete the game. It's the only trophy you can get, or the only achievement. It's the only reason to play the game.
And it's just called Life Well Wasted.
Life well wasted.
Like, well,
And when
you
you,
did it.
and when you first get
Thanks
the
for the
game, you don't
$2.
even get to see what it is because it's a secret
Yeah.
achievement.
And 10 years later, there's a new achievement that requires you to not play the game for 15 years, so you have to launch it again, and then just leave it in your library. And 15 years later, you just get a new achievement.
So, hey, you're
it's
back.
like, wait, what's this achievement for? It's like, wow, didn't uninstall this.
Yeah, but it's
job.
just for the people who like did actually go to trouble with getting that one trophy. So it's like now you have to have the game on your computer for 15 years, but you cannot play it for 15 years.
We've been talking about like the menus and stuff. What would the actual gameplay even be?
Oh, you'd have random clipping man. You'd have the person who's just covered in the UI.
Yeah,
You'd
but
have
that's
someone
the guy
who just
did the
sits there and
tutorial.
spawns random things. Wait, I can make a sword. Give me a minute.
I can make a sword.
Apple, 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 dragon, apple,
Undo.
undo, gun.
Mm.
Undo. Dragon X20 spawned. No.
No.
Have like the goal be something like really stupidly simple.
Yeah, like in Pulsar when like all you really need to do is just get a thing of milk.
Like you need to carry one thing
Mhm.
from one side of the map to the other side of the map.
Yeah. But then
Oh.
like everything is just stacked against you.
I have announcement.
Announce it.
It's more important to you, just like to you three. House.
Oh,
We got a different one.
What?
So you're moving.
Oh, you.
We got a different house than the house we were looking at, but we got a different house nonetheless.
It's in Irland. Right?
Oh yeah, you guys were planning on making like a bed and breakfast or something like that, right?
No, not right off the bat. We're renting a house. $1,000 a year. It's like 1,385 or something.
Wow, that's cheap.
And
That's very cheap.
it's like 3 bathroom, 5 bedroom, 2-story, with a huge backyard.
Jeez, can I
Very
come
nice.
with? Like, I'd be willing to like just pay half of the rent you guys pay.
Hey, Rise, want to move to Ireland?
I
And
know.
with clean air.
Just everybody moved to Ireland.
Yeah,
Everybody
I
goes
mean,
there.
Jesus Christ, I was hashing this stuff out earlier with Sponge Boy, and like, my living expenses is generally right now I'm paying a little bit more, but like it's about $800 a month. As long as I have another person to carry burdens, paying
It's-
$1,000 a year for a huge ass place.
Also, it's furnished.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jeez,
Absolutely insane.
that's yeah.
I
I
didn't
am.
even think numbers like that scale were possible.
Yeah, no, that is.
What did
Jeez.
you do to the original, or did you kill him? Like,
No, he's just
No, I didn't kill him, but I did kidnap his wife.
Yeah.
dang it, Franklin.
Also, Lily just chimed in
Next,
saying,
Trevor.
"No, just her. She's just gonna be the only one that goes with them." But
I really hope, I hope
Mm.
she's able to join us for the plane trip over there. And if she's not, I'm gonna be very sad.
Who?
yeah. I mean, again, it is. Oh, and she just showed up with the panda with the shotgun.
Pistols for pandas.
She just said that
Pistols
she
for
she
pandas.
doesn't think she can make it.
Oh,
no.
whatever.
Yeah,
Sad note.
or at least for the plane trip. But, yeah, no, it is.
That is insane.
I'm still kind of boggled about the price on that. Like that cannot be real.
Yeah.
That sounds fake.
It's like almost 2,000 a year, but it's still in the 1,000 range.
That's still way too little.
Sounds like something a kid would make up when they're playing house.
Yeah.
$1,000 a year. Yo, can I live in that dollhouse?
Plot twist: the landlord's a child.
It's a 5-year-old.
It's like two kids in a trench coat, just like, yes, I'm Mr.
Yeah.
Adult.
With like
Yo,
football shoulder
one
pads
person-
underneath, to, like make their shoulders look bigger.
You could give me
Mustache,
one
Groucho
pack of
Marx
stuff.
glasses.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I'm honestly the big jelly on that one. Not because of the location, just because of how much you're paying for that one. Well, not you specifically, but your family.
Absolutely.
'Cause
Absolutely.
living costs money, and it's expensive.
Does adulting sting?
Can I go backwards? I'd like to go back.
Can I go
I
back
would
to
love to
that?
go backwards. Like, I would love just to be like a high school student or an elementary school student again. I would hate to be a middle school student. That was the worst. I don't want to go back to that, but
Middle school student, so it's okay.
yeah, I would enjoy being a high school student or an elementary school student again. That would be awesome. Not have to worry about
For
bills or life. Or the fact that, like,
Absolutely.
you have to worry about being evicted one day if you live in an apartment.
Can I go back to preschool where I painted on the sidewalk with water?
Go back to eating chalk.
I remember
I didn't
when I
eat
was
chalk.
when I
That's
was
probably why my teeth are so screwed up. Is from when I was younger. Just like, you know what? Chalk looks tasty. Crunch.
Oh, my teeth are
Didn't
screwed
try.
up
What
because
did
I had
you do?
too many teeth grow in when I became big.
remember one time.
I still have that.
I got kicked in the mouth by too many little children. Didn't know that kicking me in the mouth was
Um,
bad.
I remember when I was
Steinstein
in
is-
preschool.
yeah.
I used to go with the teacher lady to go make copies of things. As I had no friends that wanted to make me feel better.
Yeah.
And-
You had feature friend. Those are kind of the best.
Yeah.
They're just like, you want to come sit in my office? You're just like, yes.
Want some
Please.
ice cream?
Yeah, I mean,
You want to
I
talk? You want to hang out?
I always like
But like,
hate thinking about like restarting my life scenarios because I'd always be down to like doing my life better. I don't think anyone's ever truly against that. Even people who've like hit it big, like there's always something more you can do or something better you could do.
Hey, open a new game
Absolutely.
plus this.
Yeah, but like
Or a
the
new game
biggest
plus-
thing that I'd hate about it is that if I restarted my life, like depending on how far back I'm restarting from, pretty much all of my friendships and relationships would have to be built up from the beginning. And
Yeah.
like I don't really want to do that.
I don't either.
Like if I could have everybody I know keep their memories and come back with me, like awesome. We don't need to rebuild our friendships and relationships and whatnot. But everybody else, like, I mean, but like without that, it's like it sucks because it's really is a one-time thing.
Yeah. Life Plus.
And can you
Yeah.
just, or Lily just created because Hunter is the only reason I'd never do that. And yeah, exactly. My point is just people,
Yeah.
and you can never guarantee to like the thing that's like why this is the thing is you can never guarantee that you would be able to build a friendship with people if you could go back and do it again because people are super fickle and complicated and there's no
Yeah.
like
Human, not simple.
human not simple so having to go back and like um for example like in SpongeBob like we
Oh,
go back all the
you're
way
little.
to middle school. If I was to try and be friends
Yep.
with him in middle school, I think that'd actually turn out worse for us than how our situation of where we just kind of meandered as acquaintances till we became friends.
Yeah.
Because it's like it was just not the time for it to happen.
Really, like fully high school.
Yeah, and even then we were still kind of like friends at length,
Yeah,
friends of convenience.
for sure. And then once both kind of went more of our separate ways in life, it started picking up.
Yeah,
Just what me sometimes.
that's just how it is sometimes.
And then there's me, which I don't even know what.
You hung out with a person who shall not be named because related.
Yeah,
Like,
and then I met you, and I was like, I like Ray, he's pretty cool.
Hmm.
I want to show other friends. These are other friends and friend.
Yeah, here's
I've
a fun
only known
fact
you guys
though.
for 2 years.
Every single one of my friends is in one way or another somehow related to that guy. Like my childhood friend, he went to church with him. SpongeBob, I think it's very self-evident. Evident. And Art again. We used to do club stuff together, and then he was a thing. Again, we've already said Starshade's related to him, and Steenstein is a cousin of somebody else that was knew him. So
Very well knit, tightly knit group.
yeah, I just think
Yeah.
it's funny because like our group entirely formed in spite of him, but then we
Yeah.
just he stopped caring
out of
about
his
us, so we just kind of like now do our own thing. But honestly, our the biggest factor of our friendship really is him, which
Yeah.
might be the weirdest thing to say about a person that like I don't want to be
biggest
friends
factor
with
of our
or
friendship.
ever be associated with.
Yeah.
The biggest factor in our friendship is spite of another.
Spite of another. Yeah.
We spite thee.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not my fault. He just not a good
Is-
person.
He's
Yeah.
a
He
dingle.
just is bad.
He's a dingle-doo.
The dingle do.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the dingle.
He's a
There's not even like
dingle.
one specific
Dingo-
thing that makes
dingo
him
son.
like a person I don't want to hang out with. It's multiple things he does.
The
Mhm.
bagingi.
Yeah.
Put him in a
Again, like
critter
I
in a
don't want to like spend the whole time trash talking somebody else, but that's just how that is. Like that's how
That's
I
just
met
weird.
everyone I know.
It's just it's for like
Watch
near the end of the
podcasts.
timing.
Yeah, I started hanging out with Brandon more because he's cool. Because I wanted to get away from that other man.
Brandon's not cool. He's very, very lukewarm.
Yeah,
Then-
I'm room temp.
And Brandon's like, "Hey, look, this is another man," and I was like, "That's cool." Then William showed up, and I was like, "Look at that small child."
I'm like,
That I just found.
And then,
Look-
yeah. And
When I
then Jay showed up, and I was like, "That's a sprite. I do those."
Hey, look, a guy who does art. I also do art. Let's do art kind of not together.
I can make a
Do
perfect
art
idea.
near each other and agree that it's okay.
Mhm. I mean, hey, I'm actually glad I did met you because it's nice having somebody who actually knows what they're talking about in critiquing art and helping me improve. So,
Yeah.
I just
I've had
appear
a
that-
couple art classes that are like, here's color theory, here's how you look at art critically and figure out what's wrong.
yeah, I've had those classes too. It's just I still don't well, I know color theory. I don't understand color theory.
Great.
Yeah.
Don't get it, but it's there.
I mean, I know it. I know pretty much a lot about color theory, but I don't understand color theory. I can't apply color theory in practice.
Can
I
I
think
eat
I
color
do it,
theory?
but I don't know.
Yeah.
I just appeared here 2 years ago.
I'm there.
I was,
He was appeared from the ether, and we're like, there he is, the
What?
man I'm gonna make fun of for the next 8 years of my life.
Hey, look,
was-
let's all shit on that guy.
and everybody hated me at the beginning. Cut that.
Nobody hated you. Well, I think
Nobody
most of
hated
us just
you.
kind of viewed you as an unnecessary tag along. I think
And then you
most.
just kind of wormed your way into our hearts, and we're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's William.
Yeah.
And I want to ruffle your hair, but you're probably taller than me, so I'm gonna like to like kick your
I'm
knees out.
5'9". I think I'm 5'10" or 11 or something.
Then again, there's a lot of people that I don't really like in the beginning, and we're talking like,
Yeah. Like that dude who.
that man.
Like
Mhm.
that
That
dude.
man. And it just loops back around to hate.
Yeah.
There he is.
That
There
guy.
he is.
Yeah.
It's a
there.
big old circle.
It's a big old story. I mean, hey, like at least like he doesn't need to be
Oh,
here for us to
heck.
exist. So
Yeah.
Oh, heck.
at least now, in order to get things started, he did. But now he's completely unnecessary.
It's
Yeah.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
Here's we have hit
Ah.
the
The
ground.
wall.
Extreme force. I
He hit
died.
the ground running.
More water.
It did not make sense to look fun.
Mhm.
And get smart. Tried to-
Shut up.
Yeah. So much to do. So see.
But what's wrong with taking the back streets? You'll get shot. Oh.
You'll never know.
You'll
if you
become
don't
What's wrong with
Batman.
taking the back
You'll
streets?
never shine if you don't glow.
Your parents will get shot when coming out of an opera.
Okay.
Batman?
Batman.
Everyone's Batman if you go with your parents to an opera on the wrong side of.
By the way, Lily says he became that is baby.
Who became?
I think she's talking about you.
Yeah.
What did I become?
That is baby.
Yes. I am an infant. Goo goo gaga.
A goo goo gaga.
Mm.
Blade, go gaga.
I mean, if Katie has a tendency to say "I am baby" herself, then what does that make you really? If you're the younger one,
Fetus.
Embryo.
embryo.
Sperm cell.
Yes, he's Dr. Embryo.
Embryo.
Sounds like a fetus.
Jesus.
Do, do, do.
Where were we again? I think we were tying up the podcast loose ends and starting to shut us down because it's that time.
It
That
is.
time where we stop talking and go sleep.
Well,
Continue
Katie
playing
goes to
video
sleep.
games.
I
You
stay
go
up,
to sleep.
and
She's a
I-
normal Velociraptor person.
she also has
Barely.
school. Like a
You
normal
go, I
person.
stay. No following.
No follow.
No.
You go.
Tired giant.
Alright. Well, yeah, thank you guys for watching another Witching Hour podcast. Hopefully you had your time filled with random nonsense. I know we did.
Yeah.
So with that, enjoy the rest of the Witching Hour. If it's not the Witching Hour for you, probably maybe consider watching this during the Witching Hour unless you're a normal person who doesn't stay up at night. Then
Or just in a different time zone.
or is in a different time zone. I guess that's also fair. I didn't have a thing for that one, so thank you very much. Now my outro's been ruined. My carefully scripted outro.
Oh,
Soiled it.
My paper,
Soil
I might
it.
as well throw it
Oh,
out
God.
now.
Yeah.
What? Everything's transparent. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Soiled it.
Turn up the opacity. Anyways. Yeah.
Freaking gone.
I think
Goodbye, friends.
goodbye.
Goodbye.
Fun.
So
Wow.
long.